Thank you. It's mustache Mark. Alright. This poem's about anyone else who's been ever picked on for having a mustache. Or ever been picked on. When I was a little guy, I wanted to touch the stars. I wanted the planets to align so I could hop, jump, and skip to the farthest ones. I wanted to salute the sun. Make eyes with Mercury, slave wall out of Venus, and leave the inhabited Earth behind me. Make my way to Mars. Play hopscotch across the asteroid belt, tossing rocks and comets to skip over as they shoot by. Wanted to meet up with Jupiter. I wanted to meet up with Jupiter. And... wow. Okay. Sorry. Jam out with Jupiter. In exchange, joking before I spill myself away and meet up and see if Saturn can help me with my sometimes terrifying stammers and make a urination top of Uranus and pound next with Neptune. Which brings me to Pluto. Pluto, who is the god of wealth to the Romans. To the Greeks, he was the lord of the Underworld and all those who resided in it. Pluto, who we have the audacity of calling a dwarf planet. And he orbits on his own path. He's the only one being capable of getting closer and farther away from that extremely hot ball of gas. Pluto was the kid you saw in high school. The same kid who was always a little guy. He got picked on for being a small fry. He always spoke his mind and never once slandered or lied. Maybe he was into anime or some TV show that was before its time. And although you may have never spoken down to him, you never stopped the others, whose brothers always wanted their younger brothers to follow in their footsteps, leave behind their legacy of them being the tough guys. Whose teachers would allow them to get away with calling Pluto small fry. They'd say it builds character or some shit like that. But let me tell you something about being bullied. It builds no character. It forces the little ones, the children, the beaten and bruised, the abused and overused, the cheated and the lazy to build barriers. These giant walls of stone and ice. While these bullies explode hot air from their mouths like the supernovas and the stars. There's no way of counting our scars, bully kids. For most of us, we're maimed or bruised, not physically at least, but mentally. Our scars run deep, deep down into our souls, past the black holes and into the soles of our shoes. I say again, we may show no bruise. Not physically. But Pluto was a small sphere of ice. He was rocky and stocky. He was never once cocky. Maybe he blinked too much or liked to draw, or perhaps he preferred poetry. But I can assure you, underneath his frozen stony shell, he has the warmest heart. And yeah, he laughs when he hears a fart and finds the beauty in the ignition of a spark. He never once wronged you, but you outcast him from being different. All he asked you for was your ears so that you would listen because he just wanted to be like you. To like a girl who liked him back, who didn't care whether his skin was pasty pale or midnight black. Daily, he considered road trips and contemplated suicide to escape his fate of all the pretty girls calling him gay. But 20 years from now, when you're no longer fucking the prom queen, and you set your thermostat to 63 because you can't afford the heat, and it is the dead of winter, and you're curled up on your couch with 7 blankets and a pillow, Pluto will still be up there. Whether we consider him a part of our solar system or just another dwarf planet, he'll still be up there looking down on you for once.